Soon I discovered that this rock thing was true. Jerry Lee Lewis was the devil. Jesus was an architect previous to his career as a prophet. All of a sudden, I found myself in love with the world. So there was only one thing that I could do was ding a ding dang my dang along ling long. Jesus built my car. It's a love affair, mainly Jesus and my hot rod.
All right. Hello. That's an old song I like a lot called Jesus Built My Hot Rod by a band called Ministry, back when they used to be good. And I'm not just being pretentious, like they got old and kept making music instead of trying a new project or something. They got really, really shitty. Like super shitty. Really, really, really bad, just bad. Bad. I think I don't know, maybe the lead singer and showrunner guy lost his mind over time. I'm not too sure, but yeah, they went from like pretty awesome, just like anti-establishment, anti-institutions, anti-government sort of schizo stuff, which is pretty fun and awesome and relatable, to like really, really partisan cringe shit. Like when they got into like especially once they hit the 2000s, and just it all kind of went downhill pretty badly, pretty quickly. But those first like four albums of Ministries, yeah, they're pretty top tier. But I would say Psalm 69 and Filth Pig were pretty damn good. Even some of the later stuff, like the what is it called, the anti kind of Bush Jr. stuff or whatever at the time, was pretty interesting. Yeah, no, they were cool. Ministry was cool, and then they just kind of like, I don't know, man. This shit just puttered out real quick over time. All right. So who is here today? Let's put some background music. I'm gonna play another old album in the background while I talk here. It's a really cool album by a band called Floater. A bunch of an old man remember. I'm gonna turn 40 in August. August 18th, I will finally be the big 4-0, be an official boomer. And right now I'm listening to my old boomer music. Floater, cool band, very cool, late 90s, early 2000s, interesting experimental sort of music. So, welcome. Yeah, 40 is the new 30. It's not saying much. Um, welcome, 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 everyone. Okay, so I increased the bitrate on my stream, so hopefully it's a lot more stable and smooth than it has been before. So that's the goal. Part's nice. If the music's too loud, be sure to tell me. I will do something about it. I feel like it might be. Let me see. Pull it up a little bit. There, that should be good. Okay. So, here, and I have a new Schizoid question in mind. Nice little Schizoid question that I posted in the server. Kind of hyped about that. I only got a few responses from what I can tell, but still, it's a topic that it's been rattling around in this old clunky brain of mine for I think the last week and a half or so. Kind of trying to figure out ways to talk about stuff that can maybe help motivate some Zoids. I feel like getting some Zoids motivated to start wilding out, acting little crazies, in the best way possible. That's the hope. Let me see here. What do we got? 5 people watching right now. Okay. Slow start, but it usually picks up after about the first 15-20 minutes. I think I condition the people that watch me to assume that I'm going to be like a while before anything real happens or any conversation actually gets started. But let's see. Background. I usually like to talk a little bit about what the fuck's going on with me for the first few minutes, and then I move on from then, because most people listening probably give 2 shits. So if you're watching this as a VOD, just go ahead and skip this part if you're not interested. Let's see here. Still taking the same meds. I think the Strattera is working all right. I'm not sure. It's supposed to take like 5-6 weeks before you really notice how it affects the ADHD, but I'm already starting to notice some stuff. Trying to cut down on alcohol and stuff, because I do drink a little bit more than I should, and it's not a good idea considering I'm taking some SSRIs and now ADHD medication, so why not the best idea in general. But I'm trying to cut down. maybe just keep it on the weekends and keep it like, moderate, not heavy, like stupor drunk on a Saturday. Yeah, I gotta make sure I cut that down significantly. It's not good. I'm gonna start going back to the gym soon, so excited about that. I want to be able to go at least 3 times a week, and then maybe supplement at home, some you know weightlifting or something at home, but go to the actual gym and get a nice full workout at least 3 times a week. Um, and that in combination with cutting down the alcohol should hopefully help me lose a significant amount of weight that I need to lose. So that's good. That's something I think that's a good thing that's occurring. Outside of that, yeah, I think that's all that's really going on with me that I'm aware of. Oh, Walmart, not Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club. They had these like little diet citrus. They're like those Lipton citrus green teas or whatever, but they're like way cheaper. So I got like a nice stack of those. I know it's still bad for you and it's like just fucking sucralose and shit, but it's still I'd rather be drinking that than a soda. The soda seems to fuck with my GERD or whatever, my acid reflux issues a lot more than I probably should. I don't understand my audience. It's so weird. Like sometimes I stream and there's like nobody on Twitch and like everyone's on YouTube. And today everyone's on Twitch and nobody's on YouTube. I don't fucking understand. I don't understand how any of this works. I don't know how like I'll do a whole stream with like 10 11 people watching on YouTube and like one person watching on Twitch the whole time. And now I got like 8 people on Twitch and like one person on YouTube. Like you guys are just trying to like fuck with me, huh? You're just messing with my head. I think that's like part of the game. Maybe I'm slowly becoming someone's lol cow. Some schizoid lol cow for everyone. That's okay, I can live with that. As long as it brings somebody some semblance of peace. Oh no, you're not stupid, Saren. The question was actually on the server, and I pointed to it again. The question, I had, where did I put it? Yeah, it's right there. Just scroll up, and then there's a little Binding of Isaac GIF, and then I hit reply. I mean, not reply, reply to something asking about the question, and that should send you to the May 8th post in which I asked a question. And the question, dear viewers out there in TV land, was this. This is what I posed to the Schizoids. I didn't get that many responses. I kind of thought I wouldn't. But I was hoping I would because I really would like some insight into some of this stuff. It's really helpful to not just me as just individual, but also to the work and ideas I'm trying to like think of and rattle on about and stuff. But this is what I asked. I said, when is the last time you advocated for yourself, where you cared about something even a little, and that time you said no to the indifference and stood your ground? If you have not in so long, tell me why. So I wanted to know if any Zoids recently, through the anhedonia and the abolition and other issues that come with all that fun stuff, there was some moment that they just went like, no more. I'm done. I'm gonna cause the conflict. I'm gonna cause conflict because I'm just tired. I'm tired of being passive. I'm tired of just agreeing because I'm indifferent or don't care enough about this or that. Like I said, no, fuck this. I don't care. I will allow the conflict to occur. And I'm not going to rationalize why it's better to avoid it or not deal with it. So I wanted to know if that's something you've encountered or you've experienced, and if you haven't, or it's been a really long time, I wanted to know why. What's stopping you? What rationalizations? What decisions? What feelings, if that's what's going on, are occurring with thoughts that cause you to just kind of like, oh well, Well, it looks like they want that more, so man, whatever. Just let them. Who cares? I don't care enough to fight. I don't care enough to complain and put up a fight, or so on and so forth. Um, so sorry guys, 1 second. My daughter needs to get something. All right, did you get it? Okay, good job. Close the door, please. My teenager. It's like I left something in there. I gotta get it. That's what happens. All right. So, um, as I was saying, yeah, just that moment. I know I've had a few moments in my own life in which I've done that, but it always took quite a bit. It always took a little bit of an extra push, right? Hey, what's up, Uno Aluminio? Uno Aluminio. That Argentina action right there with the heart. Can't even tell. Just see yellow and blue. In any case, so as I was saying, yeah. So there have been times in my life where, whether I was growing up, it was parents or people, or even as I was older and it was family members or whatever, they would be like, oh, come with us to do this, or oh, you have to do this because family. Oh, you have to. No, you can't do that today. You can't this. You got to do this or whatever. Blah blah blah. And or they would get upset at me about something they thought I said or didn't do enough of, or got annoyed. And so instead of just saying no, you're wrong on this one. You're gonna have to listen. Like instead of being like that, I would just be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, I won't do it again. And in my head, I'm like, it's fucking nonsense. I didn't do anything wrong. But I don't advocate for myself because why? It's too much work. They're not going to listen anyway. I don't care enough to get them to understand. So on and so forth. There's all these kind of reasons, and I understand those reasons. I used to use them constantly, and it was true. I mean, when I was thinking it was true. I didn't care enough about to. And I was talking about this, I think last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, I was talking a little bit about it. No, it wasn't Tuesday. It was like a Wednesday stream that was supposed to be the Tuesday stream. So I did like a surprise Wednesday stream. Yeah, I was sort of talking about it a little bit, which was, reconceptualizing that as somebody that's, dealing with the schizoid stuff of not standing up for the thing that you don't care that much about, but standing up for the fact that there's people that think they can. You're essentially conditioning people to see you as like a passive person that's just kind of moldable and malleable and will just kind of agree to things and won't put up much of a fight and things of that nature, right? I think a lot of schizoids will put up fights in like really kind of indirect ways, like they'll pretend they forgot things, they'll pretend that something slipped their mind, but it wasn't actually true. They were just like, fuck you, I don't want to do it, so I'm just gonna like pretend I forgot and just stay home. I'm sure there's a lot of Zoids that have done that. But why do all that, right? Like instead of just being like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to take part in that because of this or that reason. And if that's a problem, then I'm not sorry because I don't think there's anything wrong with me having my opinions and thoughts on the matter, just because they differ from yours or conventional ones. And I just wanted to know if any Zoids out there basically have been in that situation. One thing that's interesting about it, and I do want to talk. I'll let you guys hop on here. I see you got Saren, we got Saintus, we got Shadow, we got Mortis. Cool. All right, just give me 1 second, and I'll let you guys hop on with me here. The other point I wanted to make about that is something really kind of amusing about it. When I've done it, or when I've heard of stories of schizoids doing that sort of thing, where they finally just get fed up that day, and they're like, you know what, no, fuck this, I'm gonna say no, or I'm gonna fucking be mad, or I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be even more, I'm gonna like exhibit my frustration even though I know ultimately it probably won't change anything or do anything, but that doesn't fucking matter because today I'm gonna fucking do it because I'm fucking tired of this shit, right? And it becomes more about just like the constant what have you. But when you do it, when that happens, and I've had this occur a bunch of times in my life, you have this kind of inner narrative the entire time, right? There's this ongoing inner narrative that's happening, and nobody knows about it except for you, right? And the family members, your peers, the people around you, whatever, your coworkers, like nobody knows, right? You're not out there talking about it. You're not really out there going like, "Oh, this is fucking annoying. I hate this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that." Like, yeah, you'll just kind of just keep it all in there because why mention it? Who do I want to tell? I don't want people to know anything about me. Why they wouldn't even understand anyway. It's just gonna cause problems. Blah blah blah. And so you have this whole kind of story going on in your head about what's happening, how long it's been happening. You might have resentments and regrets and frustrations, and it's all inside. It's all in there, just all packed in there, right? And you're just like, but on the outside, obviously, you just kind of look like, mm-hmm, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll get it done. Yeah, okay, no problem. You know, and I feel like people can read my mind, and I know they can't. Oh yeah, it's that got a little bit of that typo action, huh, Saren? Or just insecurities? It's all good either way. Um, but I like to partake in some magical thinking myself. In any case, yeah. So then you have this narrative that's built up in your mind and through your introspection. You have this whole like fucking story about why this is wrong, how long it's been going on, how frustrated, and like you have you're making all these decisions about how you're gonna deal with this or deal with that or whatever the fuck. And then finally, like that day hits, and you're just like, the person's just like, "Hey, Angst, I kind of forgot to do that thing." Coworkers just like, "I kind of forgot to unload that thing. Can you get that for me, man? It's cool, right?" Right? Like that guy shows up or that gal shows up, and normally I would just be like, "Yeah, man, whatever. It's fine. I'll take care of it." Right? Because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with telling them that they're fucking incompetent or they're just like not doing their shit. It's being disrespectful as fuck that you think I could just be right here fucking doing the shit you were supposed to do during your shift, but now I have to fucking do it, and I don't even want to be fucking here. Probably want to be here even less than you, but you're the dumb fuck that decided, "Oh well, I'll just have Angst do it because he's pretty just whatever and he'll do it," right? And then you blow up. You blow up on him, right? You're like, "You know what, man? No, I'm not doing shit." Right? You're just like, because you have this inner narrative already going on, right? No one's aware of it, but it comes out, and you're like, "No, man, I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing that. Get your own shit done. I don't give a fuck." Like you just get pissed, right? And it's so crazy because like no one around you, because you haven't expressed it very much, knows this narrative that's built up inside you. And then how do people react, right? They're like, "Oh man, Angst, oh, he's having a oh man, what's up with him? What's going on? Oh, is he all right? Oh, does he need some time off? Oh, he just like blew up on me out of nowhere. Just blew up out of nowhere. Didn't see it coming." Right? Wow, he's just like, wow, he just fucking cussed at me and he's mad at me. Like all I did was ask him for a favor. What the fuck's the problem? Damn, Angst. What's up with this guy? And then people are talking about you like, "Oh man, oh Angst, he's normally chill. Oh, what happened? Oh." Because you had this whole thing in your head that you never expressed. They don't know. They have no idea that they've been fucking with you, that they've been incompetent, that they're inconsiderate, that they disrespected you multiple times, and your autonomy, right? Like your fucking peace of mind's been fucking invaded day after day at work or at home or whatever, or at school. They don't know because you didn't tell anyone. And then you blow up because, gasket fucking goes off, and then you have like an outburst. And then people are like, "Oh shit, shocking, sensational news. The chill gal fucking blew up and said some shit. Oh, there's something wrong. Maybe they're doing drugs." Right? And what the fuck, bro? Yeah, I know. And what? Oh, is that what you're making fun of, the like them like reacting like what? Like, you know, they've been like a piece of shit to you, and you consider a piece of shit to you, but because you've been so passive for so long, they just got used to it. They got kind of conditioned to thinking it's fine. And you know, that they can just like, oh, you're just really amicable and really like agreeable. And that's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. Because hilariously, when you blow up like that, that causes more conflict and fucking bullshit than if you would have just like maybe said some shit, even in the most sugar-coated way, a lot earlier on, that you avoided saying because you didn't want to deal with it, you didn't care enough. You didn't care enough at that in moment. Once that shit stacks up enough, start giving a fuck. You're having a particularly bad day. Normally it just slides right off you. Frustration's building up. Fucking, you fucking fell out of bed that morning. You have a headache. You have all this shit going on. You get your morning coffee, whatever the fuck you need. And then that thing, that normal kind of passive just indifference, just fucking just the levee break. Right? One that's not healthy, at least in my opinion. I understand how cathartic it can be, but it ends up causing you way more fucking problems than you really need to deal with. Usually, not always, right? But and then it's really hard to go back to being Mr. Passive Indifferent guy after that, because then people start acting weird around you, and they're like, oh, they're actually paying more attention to you because now they think, oh, this guy's volatile. This guy can just blow up at any moment, call people, you know, names and tell them like they need to do their job and all this stuff. And it's kind of counterproductive to your goal of just having some peace of mind, being left alone. And I think that's one particularly good argument I would make for why schizoids need to stop thinking like that. They need to stop thinking, oh, I don't care enough to advocate or stand up for myself or fight for this thing that I don't care that much about. And so I'm just going to like let them have it, or let them just take it, or let them just whatever, I don't care. Yeah, it causes way more problems down the line than just dealing with that fucking problem right then and there. Even if right then and there it doesn't feel like you care that much, you got to remember what's going to happen down the line. This keeps occurring, and I think that's something to keep in mind and consider. I'm kind of saying to you guys, like, fucking do that more. Say something. Don't wait till you fucking explode or ghost or melt down and fucking burn all the bridges. Like, don't wait till that happens. No one knows the narrative inside of you, in your mind, about what's happening and how it's occurring. No one knows. And if they knew, they probably really wouldn't care in the same way that you care about it, or even understand. I get that. So you got to find ways to kind of change that fucking narrative, like, but through action, not just like through like introspection and you know, speculation and so on and so forth. Even if you have to pretend you give a shit about something more than you do, just for the down the road long-term issues that it causes, to not say shit and just kind of get walked all over because you just don't give a fuck enough. Yeah. So that's my thought on that. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring up today. And that's what the question was mostly about. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to, sorry, I kind of rambled a little bit too long there. I'm going to switch over to the, so that you guys can hear me here. And I can hear you guys on the server. I got a few peeps that have jumped on here. Song's a little loud. I like this track, but it's too loud. There we go. All right. Hey, how's everyone doing? I got Saren, Saintus, Shadow, Mortis. What's up?
Morning.
Morning.
Hey.
Hey there. Evening, morning.
No,
hey.
It's morning somewhere.
It's always more. It's in an evening somewhere.
I'm a morning enjoyer, except I'm not. I hate mornings.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. What's up?
Am I to understand then that you don't advocate for randomly showing up somewhere with a bomb? Then.
No. I'm not an advocate of Uncle Ted. I like some of Uncle Ted's thoughts, but I don't like Uncle Ted's actions.
Sorry, had to.
Yeah, no. Going postal is a bad idea. and it doesn't work out for anyone, including the person going postal. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind some thoughts on this. Maybe you have experiences with this kind of situation I described, or history with it, or I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I've never really had an issue with people taking advantage of me because I feel like I've always been pretty, what's the word? Stubborn? I've always been pretty stubborn and pretty loud when I don't want to do things and I don't like people. And I'm really quick to shut that down.
That's good. I'll tell you right now, that's usually not the case with most Zoids.
I mean, I'll go out of my way to adapt to situations, right? I'm far more patient, understanding than normal. But I'll usually only be, like, adaptive because I want to, like, play out a scenario in order to, like, stimulate and learn more. Like, if I do this, right, if I'm experimenting.
Okay.
But if it really, really bugs me, I'm just like, fuck off, I hate you.
Yeah, we need more of that. That's good. I mean, I don't know about I hate you or fuck off necessarily, but I get
the
what
sentiment, yeah.
Yeah, the sentiment can be there. Yeah, absolutely. That's something I had to learn a lot later, in I would say in my like early 30s. I became a lot better at that. Not letting basically the indifference cloud my ability to realize that there's going to be a problem if I don't say anything. How about the rest of you? Because every time Shadow shows up, they're like, "Well, that doesn't relate to me because I'm Shadow." Anyway,
I don't know. Like, I have struggled like being taken advantage of a lot, but at the same time, I can't like recall many moments where like I have or like I've had to. I mean, like there have been like times, like when you were talking, I had some examples. I'm trying to remember them, but
take your time. I'm
I
not
don't
going
know.
anywhere.
Mortis, why don't you go first? Sorry.
Go ahead, Mortis.
The only thing I have to add to that is while I can't attest to anything similar to that, I am absolutely one of the problem ones when I blow because I black out and blow.
Yeah, I can do that too. Like when I blow, I can just be like full throttle.
All right. I love
I haven't gotten too close to killing.
I love the choice of words you guys use. This sounds really funny.
What, like full throttle?
No. You just said that like when I blow, I black out. Yeah, when I blow, I don't go full throttle.
Yeah, when I blow, I almost kill someone.
Yeah.
To paraphrase, what I mean by that.
No, I get it.
Is
watch out, son. You're gonna make me bust.
Yeah, exactly. No, I have seriously straight up nearly killed someone twice and have no memory of it whatsoever because I blacked out so thoroughly.
Like you just start like beating someone's ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not good.
So
it's not good.
While I don't have any input for this given scenario, yeah, no, I'm an example of what you really don't want to happen.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna ask. I'm guessing this scenario you're describing doesn't just happen because like you made your sentiments clear for so long and then they kept pushing you and then you blew up. Or was it a situation where you weren't making any of your sentiments clear and you had like an internal narrative that eventually made you blow up?
These were completely isolated scenarios and not related to tonight's topic at all, to be honest.
Oh, okay, so
they have the same effect.
Was it something that just triggered you, the living shit out of you at that given particular moment?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, all right. That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Different cause, same effect, and very extreme example of that effect.
Yeah, I've had situations where I could have turned physical, but thankfully for me, like I can restrain myself to some degree. Yeah, I can absolutely understand. When Shadow blows, he bites. Yes, that's what Withers said.
What?
No, Withers said that when you blow, you bite. Anyway.
Neither.
Anyway.
One of the 10 people in the Twitch chat is who said this, if you were curious, Shadow.
I know who Withers is.
And he's that's just fucking Withers. Just being
anyway.
A fucking shit poster.
I was making a crack about the same thing Angst did earlier, in the fact there are 10 people watching Twitch right now.
There's 10 people watching Twitch and like 8 watching YouTube. So that's good, I
Boomer,
guess.
yeah.
But anyway, so
Oh, I have a good example.
there we go. Go
Like
for it.
one time, so like when I lived in Utah, I worked at this like Red Robin or whatever, and I was like a bus boy at the time, I guess, like a busser. And so like one of my coworkers was like sick, and he was like, "Hey, can you like cover for me? Like I gotta go to like my friend's event or something, blah blah blah, and I need someone to cover it." And it was like a weekend shift, and I was like, "Oh, I can make good money." So I was like, I had nothing else planned. Well, like actually, I think I did have plans, but I was able to cancel them. And I was like, I'll take it. And then the night before, like it was like almost midnight, he like texts and calls me up. He was like, "Hey, actually, we're like canceling the plans, and I'm gonna need my shift back." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, I literally canceled my plans to cover your shift for you, and I'm not giving your shift back." And he like got super pissed off at me, started yelling and stuff. I was like, "Hey, like, I can tell our bosses about it." And yeah, that's like one time I was proud of like actually.
Oh, that
standing
you
up for
actually
myself.
said something. Okay. No, yeah, but you have to. You have to fucking say shit like that. Like you have to like you can't just be like, "Oh, well, this is too much work," or "Oh, well, I don't want to deal with this, so I'm not going to say anything. It's not worth it. It's not no." Like that fucking I see that so fucking often all the time with fucking Schizoids, and I get where they're coming from, because I get why that happens and how it ends up that way. That's sort of kind of like ambivalence to it, to even their own the advocacy of their own like fucking lives sometimes. um and yeah, like and anytime I brought up to some of them like, "Oh, you know, you really need to say something," that's the kind of response I get. "Oh, it's not really worth dealing with," or "I don't really care enough to deal with it," or it's too much work, I'm too lazy, I'm too this, I'm too that." And it's like, fuck, man, like this shit's gonna add up. Like you're gonna see, it always does, man. And then you end up fucking, I don't know, doing something wild, like running away from home, or fucking, fucking, blowing up on your roommate or something, and now you gotta fucking live with them, and you fucking, like, I don't know, grabbed his fucking console and threw it against the fucking wall or something, because you had like this whole like internal narrative building up where you were being wronged or mistreated or disrespected and all this shit, and you're just like, but nobody fucking knows. Like most people don't even fucking know. And sometimes it's because you're trying to deal with it diplomatically, you're trying to be reasonable, you're trying to be like so on and so forth. And sometimes that shit just doesn't work, man. Sometimes diplomacy fucking falls through the goddamn floor. Appeasement, if you will, right? Zoids can be appeasers, oftentimes, just to be like left alone again. They're just like, "Okay, what is it you want me to do? How is it you want me to do it? I'll go do it, so that way I can go back to being, isolated." Because it's just a set of conditions that like they can't avoid or something in their life. And yeah, man, like, yeah, you can't always just be appeasing just to find peace of mind again.
Actually, that's exactly how I felt with my parents. And it was when I finally moved out. Like, things have been building up from the point of when I was, like, trying to move out until I did. Where I was having these same interactions with my parents, but I wouldn't say anything because I rented from them. And I was still around, so if I did
Yeah, I
things,
remember
then it
you
would
told me a
cause
bunch of
mayhem.
times like that. Like, you're like, "Oh, just I'm here, I'm stuck here, I can't do anything about
Yeah.
it. I just need to get out." Yeah, I remember that.
Well, my original thought process was I'm getting paid to, like, I guess, be emotionally manipulated and abused. So, I can tolerate it more if I think about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if I make it a transaction, it's just like, okay, I can distance myself from it then. But when I eventually did leave,
Yeah, the
it was...
transaction was severed, right?
Yeah. The transaction was gone. But, like, when I did leave, the way I responded to one of them and not responded to the other, like, surprised me. Like the way that I just completely cut off contact and was just adamant about not talking to them and being in my own space, it surprised me because that was not the plan originally.
What was the plan originally?
Well, I was still gonna talk to them and be around and, all that shit, because in my head that was what I guess needed to do still. And then when I didn't need to do it, the brain was just like, all right, we're taking you for a ride and you don't know this, but this is what you actually want to do, and then you're gonna figure out real quick.
Yeah, like some the restraints kind of were removed, right?
Like, the fact that I didn't need to do it meant that the next time I talked to them, it's like my mouth was moving on autopilot and just blurting out these emotions of, I don't want to see you people again, and I don't like talking to you people. And it's just like brain is like dissociated. It's just like, why are we saying this? I thought this wasn't the plan, but mouth is already like, nope, this is the plan now.
Hijacked you for a little bit there.
Oh, in a good way.
No, yeah. I mean, that's what's interesting too, because I've given that kind of I would say advice to other schizoids that are like in say they're still in their 20s, say they're dependent on like family members, or they're dependent on some situation where, like, they're not making enough money, or their job's not paying enough, or they haven't found work, but a lot of the time it's because of that same apathy and the anhedonia, like, of just kind of like, yeah, I should probably get a job, but I don't want to deal with people, and oh shit, I guess I need money, but I don't give a shit about money, but I guess I need it, and like there's all these like fucking reasons, and I get it, because I absolutely get it, and but you have to have some kind of fucking plan, right? Like, if you're living with fucking people that you don't want to be dependent on, or you feel like you hate the feeling of being like a burden, or you hate the feeling of depending on anyone, and you want to like get rid of that, and you don't want that, well, you have to fucking work for it. Like, you have to fucking make it happen. Like, that shit is like depression, anhedonia, and all that shit be damned. Like, you have to fucking do it anyway. You gotta fucking get your ass in gear, work those extra hours, save up some fucking money, get a fucking car, whatever it is you can do, get your own fucking place, get the fuck out. And if that environment was just hella crazy toxic and no one, just fucking cut all that shit, man. Just sever all that shit. Do you ever want to
that's what brought me out of my lowest point of depression, was I just had the thought of, is this really how it's gonna be for like the rest of my life now?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. How do I change that?
What do you mean?
And then that's
you mean
was
your parents before?
It was like, I had a really bad stint with my friends, and I kind of realized, like, that was the kind of moment when I thought of, oh, I can't trust anybody. Like, I am alone, and I always have been. And then there was like 3 months of depression, and then it was like, oh, I woke up one day, I'm just like, is this what life's gonna be like for the rest of my life? I don't want that.
Yeah, it's ass.
And that was the kind of motivating factor.
Yeah, you're like, fuck this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Like, you don't want to wait like 15 fucking years, be in your fucking 30s, and then just realize, like, oh my god, what hell have I trapped myself in? Like, no, you have to you gotta get your ass in gear and do something. I mean, I made that mistake for a portion of my life, and it was terrible. Like, it just, it was the same thing, right? Like, when I was like probably like still 20, 21, I had gotten some associates and some bullshit that I didn't care about, that I only did it to get out of the state, to actually get away from the fam that I just didn't connect to. And my parents were like fucking always arguing that their marriage is all rocky and shit, and I didn't give a fuck, and I didn't want to be a part of it. And I had all this resentment, so I remember I came back from all that, and I was still stuck in there. Like, I was paying my parents' rent. I was 21. I'm giving him some money. I'm working at fucking Blockbuster Video, right? I'm spending all my fucking money that I would
You
get from
showing your
working there.
age, Angst.
Yeah, man, I'm old, dude. I'm almost 40, and it was like the last years of Blockbuster Video, to be honest. But yeah, it was when like Netflix was still doing. There was no streaming, and it was like DVDs that you would mail to them back and forth. That's how they
Yeah,
started.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember doing that a couple of times. I remember going to Blockbuster. I remember
you were
when,
like a little kid, I bet.
Yep,
And
I remember when
yeah, and
Redbox was it started to come
Blockbuster tried
around.
to do a competitor. So Blockbuster was trying to compete with Netflix, which was never a streaming service before. They were trying to
Yep.
compete by having their own and honestly, their system, if it would have remained that way, their system was a lot cooler. Because with Netflix,
That and Family Video, that was another big one.
yeah, with Netflix, it was like, oh, you purchase a subscription, and then you get a DVD in the mail, and you watch the movie, and then you can send it back. And the moment you send it back, you can go on the computer and ask for another movie, and then they send you that in the mail, and so on and so forth. And then with Blockbuster, the way they competed is they were like, oh, well, now you can do that. Plus, if you're waiting for a movie in the mail, in between that, you get like one rental that you can go in and out from an actual in-store location, right? So like you would always have a fucking movie. And yeah, this is all pre-streaming and all that stuff. So the reason fucking Blockbuster was already gonna fucking die. But anyway, I digress. I'm going into fucking bullshit. But yeah, I was working there, working my fucking 40 hours or 35 hours or something, and I was spending 90% of the money. No, I would say like 85% of the money I was getting working there. Like the 15% was going to my parents to just give them some rent so that I could live there and then not feel like I'm just fucking relying on them because I'm giving them some money. And then the other 85% I would spend on I would literally just feed it right back into the place I worked. Because I would just buy movies and video games. That's it. And it was just all escapism. And I was just buying movies and video games. That would be like more than I would say at least 70% of my check every time. And so I was just working for more shit, and I had piles and piles of DVDs and cases of video games and all kinds of shit. I think back on that, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing, right? Like, if I was so fucking miserable being there and all this shit, like, all I needed to fucking do was, don't buy all that fucking shit and just, save up a bunch of goddamn money and get the fuck out. That's literally all I needed to do. But, I was so just kind of dealing with that sort of indifference of just well, I guess this is just life and I have to deal with it. Hold on one second. More family members coming in. Sorry. Sometimes family members have to come in here to grab something. Unfortunately for me, this is pretty much my whole office area for because I work remotely and stuff, but there's a little cabinet thing where they store rice and shit, and so sometimes they have to come in.
True Zoid picky neat having a bag of rice in your room where you play video games at.
Well, I play games and I work. Literally, I do everything in this room. I stream, I play games, I work.
Yeah, and then you also just eat a bag of rice like you would chips.
Oh, just eat it. You're just sitting there eating rice? No.
Yeah, just not even cooked or anything. Just dry ass rice. Just I need more sustenance, more fuel for the machine.
Yeah.
Just shove more rice in your mouth.
It's just no. It's horrific.
You just have a hole cut in your chair with a bucket under you, so you don't have to ever leave. You just
shitting in my chair.
You have a rice cooker on your desk, so the rice goes in your mouth and then straight into the bucket, and it's just a cycle.
I'm just shitting in my chair right now as I'm doing the stream. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're just shitting out rice constantly.
But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's crazy because I don't know how long I would have been like that. part of what motivated me in my case was obviously my girlfriend, now wife, but that wasn't because she was pushing me or anything. She wasn't like pushing me. That was just because like I was like, wow, I really like my time with this person, which is like a rarity for me to like my time with anybody. And then I'm like, wait, why don't I just like create a situation where like I just have to pretty much hopefully just deal with them, like, and no one else. And because dealing with them was fine, but I want to deal with other people. So yeah, it takes a while for that shit to sink in, and it takes a lot to just kind of go, oh man, I feel like shit all the time. Who cares? Have to do the things because it's just gonna fuck you over so hard. Like later.
What pushed me a lot earlier in my life compared to others here probably was the fact that I had a lot of daydreams and nightmares.
Uh-huh.
So if I didn't balance my emotional state, then I would have to deal with it when I went to sleep. So like I like genuinely had like I was compelled by a force that I could not escape from, which was myself, my own mind.
Every time I think of you and your nightmares, I always think of that Eric Andre thing. The nightmare, 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 nightmare.
But yeah, if I felt like shit about something, I had to do something. Otherwise, it was literally like going back to hell every night.
Yeah, you fucking your stupid ass goddamn what do you call it? Hyperphantasia, go into hyper gear and you're fucking sleep.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's fucking rough, man.
Well, it's it's a good and bad thing. I live in my own house right now because of it.
Yeah, how's the sleep been? Better?
It's been kind of rough lately because the manic like moods.
Oh,
but
okay.
I have a
dreams
shot.
Or just weird dreams?
No, not like dreams. Like I still dream, but it's mostly just there's a lot of REM sleep I've been missing out on because I just am not sleeping properly.
Yeah, that's gonna fuck with you. I'm telling you, man. Like I've told you before, I think go get a sleep study done. You need one, man.
I'm okay.
You need
one thing at a time,
study, bro. I know.
I was fine before the mania stuff.
No,
I was fine.
No. You still need a sleep study. Your sleep's been fucking weird as fuck for like a long time, bro. It doesn't matter.
I need one too because I haven't had like good sleep in my whole life, pretty much.
Yeah, like me not getting enough REM sleep was just because I'm a fat ass with like a deviated septum. So I mean,
I normally sleep pretty well, and I can sleep whenever. I have like no problems with sleeping. It's usually the dreams that kind of like get in my way.
Yeah. Feel you.
There's a poll idea and or a stream idea if it's not been asked before.
What is that?
Quality of sleep. On a
Well,
scale
I'm
from
sure
1 to 5.
it's probably been asked. I'm sure.
Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's shit." Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure schizoid sleep is like probably not like the best fucking sleep out there. I doubt we're the best fucking. We probably have like either inconsistent sleep schedules, insomnia, fucking, or we sleep too much, like hypersomnia. Is that what it's called, or hyposomnia? What is it called?
Hyper, I think. His hypo would be under.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hypersomnia.
Hypersomnia.
I know.
Insomnia.
I know a few schizoids that deal with hypersomnia, so they're just like fucking. They're sleeping like half of their waking, like half of their life sleeping.
I would do that, right? I have done that quite often, so I definitely consider myself a somniac. But there's a lot of times where I can't do that because it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I could, but
I'm just a night owl, so like my whole life I've had subpar like amount of sleep. So
Night owl. I always like how people like say night owl. It's like, oh, you mean you sleep like shit?
yeah.
It's like, oh,
it's like
owl.
if I could work second, third
No, I
shift,
just
I would.
in the day I actually get tired in the day. Like I just want to sleep in the day. It's really weird.
Oh, okay, maybe you are like, yeah, but it sucks because you live in a world where it doesn't give a fuck about that. Your circadian rhythm has to bend to its will. Even if you would have been a lot better off like But I mean, in that case, you got to find some fucking night work. That's the cool thing
Maybe
about
you're.
remote
Go
work,
ahead.
because you can do it in the middle of the fucking night if you're one of those people. But what were you just saying, Mars?
I was gonna say maybe you're just like me and your circadian rhythm is somewhere on the other side of the globe.
Yeah, there you go.
Circadian rhythms aren't real.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. Circadian rhythm denier.
I know they're real, but like
Confirmed.
I have like always never had a consistent sleep schedule. So I was just like, I don't know what the
because you're
fuck
too
this
busy
is.
fucking being manic.
Mayhap you're on like a 24 or a 23-hour day, because interestingly enough, that has also been proven.
But
I don't
Day
know, like
length your circadian day length might actually be off in that case.
like
Yeah.
even from like 4th grade, my sleep schedule has been like as different as it could be with having parents, but it's never been consistent.
There's like non-24-hour sleep wake fade, like non-24-hour sleep wake disorder. I know that's a thing. So like your like biological clock for like how long a day is could be like longer or shorter than like 24 hours. Like some people,
Really?
it's like it isn't matched with like the typical phases, right? So like, yeah, like your basically your inner clock for you, like a day will be like 26 hours. So like, or it will be like offset by like 2
Fucking nuts.
hours each time. So yeah. So like
the
every once in a while
average-
you get into alignment, and then your sleep continues changing by like 2 hours, like every week or so. Like,
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
Whoa.
Yeah, the average clock length is about like 24 and a half hours, and then your body shifts based on mostly light cues, but also heat. And so you shift back a half hour each day. But if you have a longer time,
Mhm.
longer clock, then you're a night owl. If you have a shorter clock, then you're a morning lush.
All right. Okay, so before I forget, because that was the whole point of today, I do have a few submissions from the question. So again, the question was, when is the last time you advocated for yourself, or you cared about something even a little? At that time, you said no to the indifference and stood your ground. If you have not in so long, tell me why. So then, here, let's look at some of these answers I got. I only got a few, but I just want to check out what the locals here on the server, the Zoivoid, what they decided to speak on the matter. Okay, let's start right at the top. Dear Angst, I honestly can't remember such a time, though. I have stood up for myself in the past, but for the most part, depending on the person, I don't simply because I do not care enough, nor have the energy to put up with the hassle and arguing. No one has ever requested anything so absurd of me that I had to say no, and when people just talk down to me or criticize me, I just ignore it because I see the issues they have, and how can they comment on me when they're no better than I? See, and what I would say to that is clarify that. Tell them how they're not any better than you. Tell them. Say it. Express it. Cause a little bit of conflict. And then go ahead and turn on the aloofness, ambivalence dial when the conflict starts occurring. And reap the rewards. Let's see here. Dear Angst, kind of had to echo something someone else said in a different channel here. Unable to recall a time when this came up or was even necessary. Likely should have done so at work in recent times because my boss is an absolute half-wit, but in all fairness, highly difficult to actually come up with an answer. As such, here is an empathy banana to hopefully make up for this lack of an answer. I will take the empathy banana. I don't know what an empathy banana is, but I kind of want one with. I want a T-shirt with one on it.
what are they having empathy for? That's my question.
The
I
peel?
believe the empathy banana is a failed search Easter egg in Discord, if memory serves.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh.
there you go. Wonderful. Had no idea. Some Discord lore. Okay. Dear Angst, I can't remember the last time I stood up for myself because for the most part, I really don't care either way. See, this is what I'm fucking talking about, man. Like, I'm not saying you gotta fucking care. I'm saying this shit's gonna fuck you up if you don't start at least pretending to care, or find something you do care about regarding this shit, like your autonomy, your fucking the assumptions people are gonna make when you fucking let them, like you're just agreeable because you don't want to fucking deal with it, or you don't want to deal with the conflict of the problem. You're just like, okay, I don't care. Yeah, sure, I don't care. But internally, you might actually like kind of care. You might kind of a little bit like, I'd rather not be doing this. I'd rather not deal with this. I'd rather just can, like, this person doesn't contribute anything in return to me. This isn't reciprocal altruism occurring here. Something needs to be fucking said, even if, at that given moment, you're kind of ambivalent about it. Because it adds up, man. It adds up. But anyways, I was saying, and generally the people around me keep a casual relationship, so it's not like they demand much from me anyway. I choose the people around me specifically for how relaxed and chill they are. Okay, all right. Maybe I should have finished that first. The point is, it's just this whole kind of like, oh, I don't care enough. Actually, I don't know if this is a continuation of that one. Actually, I don't know if this counts, but we didn't have enough beds at my parents' house, and I had to go back because of a complicated housing situation. My mother insisted I share a bed with her and my dad take the couch, which I really didn't like. Eventually, I got so sick of the lack of privacy, I just slept on the floor, and my parents found a really beat up old mattress from somewhere for me to sleep on. Yeah, that's a way to go about it, right? Just fuck it. I'd rather fucking sleep on the floor. That's a way to make a statement. I'd rather just fucking sleep on the floor. You can just say it. Be like, I'm not comfortable with this. Oh, well, too bad. Oh, okay, well, then I'm just going to sleep on the floor.
I wish, because a lot of times when I stood up and I made my points very clear, my father was the type of person that knew that the people around him, like, for example, his wife would be like, oh, I don't want fries, and then he gets her fries because she eats them, right? So he has to deal with a lot of those people, but when I say no, it means no. But he'll do it anyway because that's just the kind of people he's always around. And I felt at first guilty into wasting the things he would buy.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually I just was like, I don't give a fuck. When I say no, it means no. Yeah. But he'd still keep on doing it. And it was just like,
that sounds like
even when I make
problem,
those statements,
right?
Yeah, it is that them problem, right? But they still, try to make me feel guilty about it. It's just like, fuck you. But like years down the line,
yeah,
even now he would still do it. It's just like, I've been doing this for years, mate. Why are you still doing this? I'm not gonna cave. You know how stubborn I am.
Yeah,
and it's just annoying. Even when I make bold statements like that, that still happens anyway. So,
I mean, see, I would get pissed about the fact that they just keep doing it anyway. Because I'd be like at some point I'd be like, stupid or what? Like, I said I don't want the fucking thing. Why do you keep giving it to me? I've told you like 5 goddamn times already. 6. What is this shit? And then I love it because then people will like react. Whoa, whoa, man, whoa. Anyway.
Well, man, why aren't you being nice to me because I gave something to you?
Oh, yeah, I gave something to you.
Why aren't you trying to fulfill my emotional needs that I'm putting on you, man? Like, come on, it's no big deal. Man. Fuck you.
Horrific shit, man. Horrific shit. Like, it's really funny because like I'm very straight and to the point in a lot of stuff now, especially in my 30s. And like I talked about this before, but like there's just times where my wife, like, I'll have to like kind of play along for her, like when it comes to other people, like, because she doesn't like she's not the type that just will say like, nah, I'm good, I don't give a shit or something. Like, she's a lot nicer. But like we'll be out together and then like somebody will come up to me and they're trying to sell me something, or they're trying to get me to sign up for something, or they're trying to pitch me something or ask for something. And I'll just like, if I'm by myself, I'll just be like, nah, man, I'm not interested. And then I just keep walking. And if they keep trying to talk to me, I'll just be like, I said I don't give a fuck. And then I'll just keep walking. Like, because I already said I'm not interested. Like, if you want to fucking keep bothering me, that's on you. But we'll go places and I'll say it like that. I'll just be like, no, thank you. I'm not interested in that. Like, and I'll just, I'll just keep walking, and she'll be like, why do you have to be like, just be like, just all you gotta do is listen to him for a little bit. He's just trying to do his job. And I'm like,
I remember you saying this a few times now, and I I agree with you already, and I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just like I'll look at her, I'll be like, there's been in the past I would be like, who cares? Like, I don't know him. Like, gives a shit. He'll be fine. But
yeah,
like now,
me wasting their time, right?
Yeah,
it's better for both of us.
Yeah, but like, but then I think about it for her. It makes her uncomfortable. So when I'm with her, I'll just be like, yeah, what's up, man? And I'll be like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, yeah, we're good with what we have. I appreciate you helping out, though. Okay, bye bye. And then like I'll say it like that.
And they're just like, why did you talk to me?
No, they're probably they're probably happy, right? Like,
yeah, they're probably happy.
They're probably happy because like, wow, that guy was really nice, even though he didn't want anything. But they probably see me when I'm like, I'm not interested.
Which is wild.
They're probably in their mind, they're like, damn, what a dick. I was just trying to do my job. I'm just trying. What a dick. I'm like, bro, I'm saving us both time. What the fuck are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Go find somebody else that will buy the thing. I'm not gonna be that person.
He's stupid.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, and yeah, but like, it's those kind of situations like that are really, really amazing to me that always occur. But anyway, let me keep going here because like I'm gonna make sure there's two. I think there's three more here. Okay, here we go. Dear Angst, hi. I missed your question this time. It got lost among other messages. But now that I see it, yeah, I have no idea what you're asking about. Advocate for myself? I think I use either my narcissist adaptations for that, or I switch to the master mode in the master-slave dynamic and make loud demands for what I need. People tell me that doesn't sound pleasant, so I try never to do it if I can help it. I'd like to know what that means. I would love some more details on that one. How the fuck do you switch to master mode? Like, it sounds cool. Master mode activated. Trying to
Autobots roll out.
I know, it's just like activating.
I mean, I kind
mode.
of like understand it. It's like when I am out and about and I'm at work.
Yeah.
It really depends. Like what situation if I'm at. Like if I have to go somewhere like different than my own department and then I have to talk to people, then it's a matter of, okay, how do I take control of the situation so that I am not being swept under the rug and I can do my job effectively, right? So I kind of in my brain it switches from wanting to follow rules to taking charge of the rules to place them.
I think
I've
done that. I think I know what you mean. It just, to me, it just sounded amusing because it is called master mode, which means
like instead of trying to figure out what the rules are, it's I decide what they are as soon as I get there and then I follow them.
Yeah, like if I'm in a situation where everyone around me, if it's like a work situation and everyone around me is confused and befuddled and doesn't know what to do and I know what to do, like I begrudgingly will take that position sometimes. Like I'll just be like, I guess I have to be the guy. No, I know what the master's.
But it's like practical. It's not because
what it is,
care
GT.
about it.
I know what that shit is. It's called the joke.
It's for a very practical purpose.
Yeah, no, I'm very aware of the master betrayer, slave, and exile. I don't actually abide by it 100%. I think it has a lot of problems. And it doesn't quite fill in everything in the most appropriate ways. To me, it still feels like a lot of like schizoid theories are always missing a bunch of pieces because I'm like, yeah, you know what? If somebody's gonna fucking make a schizoid theory, it's got to be some like fucking psychologist that's a schizoid that actually fucking has a lived experience to be able to put together all the literature, pick out what actually is the experiences, and has clients, and then fucking make something out of it. Because like it's a lot of the time these setups feel like a person that would not understand that experience at all, trying to like piece some shit together based on like what they understand about human psychology up until that point, and it oftentimes is just like so fucking non-applicable. It'll be like really applicable to like one schizoid, but the other one's like not really this. And the other one's like but I like this part, and that part, but I don't know what the fuck that is. And like it'll just go on and on like that. But yeah, fucking. I saw that shit a long time ago. You want to know something funny about that shit too? Okay, so the first time I saw that picture, that exact fucking picture, it was on a website, right? There's a website out there. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like, it has some kind of like whatever sounding name, like something voices inner. I don't remember, but it's like a schizoid website with like information and stuff. Wait, do you guys know what it's called?
You're looking for Self in Exile.
Yeah, Self in Exile, that fucking thing. Yeah. So I
Path of Exile?
No, not Path of Path of Exile. No, Self of Exile's DLC. It's the new DLC for Path of Exile.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
probably also a perfectly acceptable site name for given the topic matter, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It should be called Path of Exile. That shit's hilarious. No, for sure. No, but that fucking website. Yeah, like I remember I read through it. I saw like a bunch of the testimonial stuff. I was looking through it, blah blah blah. And there was like a lot of stuff that was like vibing in there and interesting. And I tried a few times, like at least two or three times, I don't remember, to get a hold of somebody that fucking runs the thing, right? And I think like I sent an email and there's like and I think I might have got some kind of answer back at one point, but it was kind of like, tell us about or something. And there's just nothing. I can't get anyone on that shit. Like I would love to get the person that like helped build that website like on the fucking channel and interview them or something. Like or anything, right? But I guess it would make sense why they wouldn't, but at the same time I'm like, come on, like let's just do an anonymous thing. I don't say your name and we don't even put video on you and you just talk. Like we can use a fucking voice changer or some shit. I don't care. Like, man, like there's been a couple of little things like that. I remember a long time ago I also found like a schizoid, like there was like this weird forum that like not forum, fucking a board, like a fucking, what is it called? Jesus Christ, my brain's not working. A fucking
message board.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there was a message board that was like schizoid message, so some kind of schizoid message board, and it had like a bunch of shit posted on it, and like I went in there, I remember, and I was just like, I tried to post something basically saying like, what's up with this place? Like, I'm interested in what's going on here. And then, like, I remember I got, like, a response eventually, and it was like, this place was, like, for schizoids, but, like, nobody like that's really here. Now we just kind of talk about politics shit post. I'm like, oh, cool.
How the fuck did that happen?
I have no idea. But it was supposed to be some kind of, like, message board that was meant for schizoid stuff, and then there's just,
no, hold on, I think I already
there.
understand.
There's just 10 guys there that are just, like, talking about politics shit.
It used to be a message board for schizoids, and then someone went there who thought schizoid meant schizophrenic, and then some other people went on there, and then the schizoids just let them have the space.
Yeah, because they did what they always do. I don't even care about politics. I'll just leave and fuck this.
This is like, I'm a bother if I talk about schizoid in a schizoid space.
I don't want to deal with it. This place isn't cool anymore. It's weird. I'm leaving. And then fucking and then it got taken over. What are the schizoids on there gonna do? They're gonna fucking stand their ground and be like, hey, no, this is our fucking spot. Get the fuck out. Like, no, they're not gonna do any of that. They're just gonna be like, and like, I get it, but fuck, man, that's what I mean. Like, that shit ruined.
Is that still up today?
I don't know. When I found it,
it
was
still
like
occupied by schizophrenics.
Well, I don't know if they're schizophrenics, but they just told me they talk about politics and stuff and whatever.
That sounds like a very terminally online thing to do. That
it just sounds
find
like
from
it
the word
just gave me
schizoid.
like some like poll channers or something type people.
Yeah.
Like,
sounds like, I have some hot take about politics. That means I'm schizophrenic.
But
schizoid is schizophrenic.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Fucking, I don't like the government. Troll me with gun because the UN's coming to my house. Stupid. Like, it's just like, okay, all right, guys. But yeah, anyway, so that's like the only shit I ever found out there, and one won't communicate back, and the other one is not actually a thing. And then I can't deal with fucking the Reddit, because like it's just like, man, like you don't know, like it's just anybody's in there, so it's just like a bunch of it's like a random clusterfuck of people in there, and
I haven't been to the Reddit in a long
there's
time.
like ASPD people in there, like that, like they're like just misanthropic and angry and fucking don't give a fuck and all this sort of stuff. And then you have avoidance in there, and then you have like probably schizoids mix in there. I guarantee you, I bet you, like I'm just obviously talking bullshit here, but I wouldn't be surprised if most of the actual schizoids on r/schizoid or whatever are like not the ones actually like posting much. Like I feel
Hey,
like,
don't you be knocking the misanthropes. I'm sure you get at least a few of them in here.
no, I mean I don't mind misanthropes. It's just they tend
Again,
to be,
I had to.
yeah, they
I
tend
had
to be
to.
fucking like one thing I can't one thing that drives me kind of nuts about like overly misanthropic people is they tend to be just like very frustrating, cringy edgelords most of the time, and it drives me kind of wild. Like they're just like, oh, I'm gonna gore post, I'm gonna put car crashes, I'm gonna, oh, look at this fucking cat on fire. It's like, yeah, okay, like this shit's gross and boring. Like oh,
So edgy.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna put whatever, like fucking, like I'm not even a white nationalist, but I'm gonna post white nationalist memes just to get people mad and upset and get them like, and so I could laugh and it's funny. Like I don't,
No, all the gay porn is ironic.
oh yeah, I'm gonna
It's a
post,
joke,
like, gay
man.
porn
What do you mean?
GIFs. I'm gonna post a bunch of gay porn clips and on like
Totally
this,
ironically,
like, on this Discord channel for like people with Bell's palsy. Oh, so hilarious. Oh, like fucking that shit drives me crazy. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna put feet pics in the Bell's palsy Discord.
I'm gonna put feet pics of myself and jerk off on camera because it's like edgy.
Oh, it's all ironic,
It's
man.
all ironic, edgy. Ha 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 ha. Oh, they're gonna get shocked. Fuck these normies. Durr. Like I just like, that just shit drives me fucking crazy, man. Like I don't know. Like I can't deal with that shit. Like I've had those people fucking come on the server because they'll go in the annex. I think it was the other time. Who was it? Somebody told me. Was it Horthus or I don't remember. Somebody told me we had some guys that jumped in the annex and they were like, just like, dropping M-bombs and just like fucking talking about weird, horny shit and just, I don't know, just fucking just dumb, dude. They sound like, these dudes will sound like they're in their like mid-20s and shit. I'm like, Jesus H. Christ. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is like, fuck, mental illness sucks. Like that's depressing. Like that's depressing that this is what you're doing. Like that's fucked up. Like in my mind I just go like, your life's fucked up. Like that shit must be rough. Like whatever you're going through right now must be fucking rough to be doing this for fun. Like damn. Like I actually feel some like, I feel a little bit, because I know they're hurting, man. Like, yeah, man, that's just not a fun existence. Anybody with any personality disorder is having a not very fun existence in some way, capacity or another. Even if they're the kind that are, posting gore and, saying anti-Semitic shit because like people get triggered and it's funny, and they don't even give a shit about anything, and they're just nihilists, like the unproductive nihilists. That's kind of like how I like to put it. Like they're unproductive nihilists, and they're just like,
I want productive nihilists.
Yeah, same. Unproductive nihilists. I don't.
See, I was going to make a joke about feigning offense at being the resident misanthrope, but I kind of can't really even do that.
Yeah, it's fine. You can do it.
I'm too deadpan for that joke, so.
The delivery just wouldn't work, huh? It would require. At least you can
Yeah,
acknowledge
exactly.
that the affect's too flat for the
Exactly.
to land.
For
all you know, it might actually land a lot harder in the right spaces. So.
Oh, I'm sure around some spaces it would, but not this one. Not this one right now, at least.
Not this
I don't
one.
know.
I
If you were a
actually
soda,
think
I
schizoids. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
him. You go first.
No, sorry, you go.
I was just making a joke. Shut up. Don't shut up.
I was just gonna say I feel like schizoids could be like good stand-up comedians, like if they actually had like the balls, or I don't know.
Well, no, they would just
Like,
do
if they
it.
could
They
do
would all
it.
sound like fucking, what was his name? Mitch Hedberg? Fucking, remember that comedian?
Some of y'all are actually funny as fuck. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it
yeah.
possible you're trying to come up with Ben Stein? Because I'm pretty sure that's much
No,
closer to who I sound like.
Yeah, no, but you know who Mitch Hedberg is, right? He's that dry.
Negative.
Yeah, he used to do like really, really deadpan comedy, like in the '90s, and he just looked. He had kind of a crazy look, and he would just say like, kind of a lot of dark humor, but he would say it without cracking a smile, and he would just say it with all seriousness on his face, and that's what made it fucking funny. But yeah. I don't know, man. Like that kind of stuff is just so weird to me. Like to just be posting stuff like I don't know what they're getting out of it. They must be getting something out of it. I don't know, man. It's just so weird. Anyway, let me look at the next one. I don't have time to think about the psychology of 20-something-year-old shit posters that, like, I don't know. Well, I remember there was I don't remember his there was a user that came to the server once. He was an interesting guy. I don't even know if he's still around. But I remember he was kind of like doing some shitposty stuff. Like just dropping like the most annoying fucking just shitposty annoying. Not like really, really bad, like, but some of it was like kind of edging and then some of it was just
Some
like,
of it was kind of edging.
yeah, and some of, on there, and then some of it was just like, oh, loud noise, like that was like the posts. It was just like, oh, look, a thing and a loud noise. I'm like, okay, like it's just a bunch of like quote unquote ear rape shit, and I remember I had confronted about. I'm like, hey, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Like, what do you need to post this? Like, or I had told them like, don't post this shit here, please. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they kept doing it. And I was just like, I had like a conversation with them. I was just like, what is this? And then eventually, like, they basically, unless they were just fucking pulling my leg, but eventually they basically explained that, like, oh, they don't really understand why this stuff's funny. It's usually the kind of boards and channels they hang out in. You know, you post these things and it's kind of funny, I guess. And like all this stuff, and they got actually kind of a little bit apologetic about it, and then they stuck around, but they started just posting some just funny memes on occasion, and then they just stopped posting that kind of stuff, and they said, yeah, I won't do it anymore. And I was like, okay, man, I appreciate it. And I was just like, I'm wondering how many guys are like that, like out there that do that stuff, that they're just like, oh, like, because I think their reasoning at the time for stopping too was like something along the lines of like, hey, this is actually a interesting space. I don't want to get banned, so I'm gonna stop. And like it's kind of funny to think about, like, imagine you're like a fucking just shit poster guy like that that's actually like maybe like super isolated and just like fucking dealing with all these problems, and that's just how you fucking kill time, by just like being just fucking doing stuff like that just to distract yourself. And then you show up on a fucking server like the Zoid Void thinking, oh, it's gonna be another fucking stupid mental health server that I'm just gonna fucking post stupid shit in and just get banned or something. And then like they actually take the time to look at some of that stuff and it resonates, and they're like, I don't think I want to be banned from this place. That's interesting to think about, like that could occur. But yeah, like I remember, I think like I asked Schizoid for one of the questions or something, and then somebody that was already on the server, like, it's that whole thing where like they'll post the, you know, what is that, the NIGG. It's like, come on. Like I get it. It's like,
Your Honor, I did not know what would happen after I typed the letter N in the group chat.
yeah, exactly. I'm just like how is, like, Jesus Christ, that shit's so goddamn old. It's been
Your
around
Honor,
since
I never learned the
forever,
N-word.
dude. It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Yeah, what a nice guy. Um, but anyway, let me read the last of these right here. I should just, I don't know, man. I'm always thinking about this stuff, just wondering, like, what's happening there?
It's funny if you're tactful with it, but not if you're just outright. Just like any
It
joke, really.
can be a little funny, but it's just like it's so done to death. Like I want some novelty. I'm a novelty seeker, so I like some new jokes or
Dead horses are my favorite type of joke.
like oh just over and over, totally fucking just yeah.
Yep.
You're like in your 20s and you're already fucking doing dad jokes.
Well, like that's like legitimately what I find funny. Just like,
how
oh,
poor
you know this thing that I've
quality
said
humor.
27 times? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying it again, and that's why it's funny now.
It's only funny to you, and that's fine. All right, let's see here. Dear Angst, I haven't been in too many situations where I can recall to stand my ground. I guess I can be stubborn about certain political beliefs or topics, especially if someone is making an argument based on premises that are fundamentally false. Ooh. There you go. Debate. One of the debate folks on the internet. Let me see here. Okay. Dear Angst is the last one. This wasn't the last time, but it was the first example that popped in my brain. I was raised Christian and I had to go to a confirmation class. I didn't believe any of it, but I sat there and tolerated it. At the end of class, about 8th grade, in order to graduate confirmation, we had to write an essay about what faith meant to us and read it aloud to the entire congregation. It was physically impossible for me to write that essay, especially to read it in a crowd, so I just told my parents I was an atheist and I didn't believe in God. They were very angry and disappointed and whatnot, partly because they had to now call all my relatives and cancel a confirmation party, which would lower our family's social credit or something. If I had gritted my teeth and wrote an essay saying everything they wanted me to hear, I would have avoided a lot of headache and I would have gotten a lot of money, around $800 from my relatives at the confirmation party. However, my neurons simply wouldn't actuate in such a way to lie about my deeply held beliefs for monetary or social gain. Lying about my internal world feels like unaliving, to use a Twitch safe word. So anyway, my dad got really angry and I tried like explaining my position to him, but he wouldn't listen, so I just went outside and kind of stared at the snow. LOL. Yep. Good. Good.
Honestly, good for you, mate.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good decision.
Yeah.
Good. Good for them. Good for them. Like that's what you do. You go, fuck conflict, fine. Lost money, fine. Like it's something that is internally important to you. You have to fucking do something. I mean, I would have said, man, I really wish you would have done something a lot earlier, right? Because maybe you wouldn't have to go through that whole process. But eventually, you did something, and eventually, it just stopped, and that's good, man. That's healthy, and that's how it should fucking be. But we need to do that shit more often, and we need to do it earlier, because you're gonna waste a lot of motherfucking time, leading on a lot of motherfucking people. That's another problem. If you want to think about it like more about others type situation or whatever. If you're not in a headspace and you're not in a place in your life where you found out like what you're about, who you are, whatever, and you can't accomplish or give what it is that people want from you, it's just better to not pretend and just kind of be upfront, because it's just gonna tear you apart, and it's gonna lead the other people on around you to think that like you give a shit about this and give a shit about that, and are really invested in this, and eventually when they find out you're not, that's gonna be even that it's gonna be that much more devastating to them. So there's a couple.
Well, that's a very interesting topic of conversation that you're bringing up right there, and what the poster brought up. If you don't mind me jumping in there for a second.
What, the last one I just read about the confirmation thing?
Yeah, the confirmation and him telling about his internal experience with not betraying his internal world or his beliefs internally or
lying
whatever
about it. Yeah.
For some money. Lying about it or whatever have you. Because I mean, it's actually come up, just lately for myself, and I'm sure it comes up actually a lot for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought about that, because I don't think it really feels that way to me. I don't necessarily think, or maybe my Zoid defenses are up, and I don't really catch the brunt of it. Maybe I know a little something's off, but I don't really feel like I'm dying or anything like that. But that gentleman seems to. Just wanted to say, I mean, like, it seems like that's a very relevant thing because, I mean, it's kind of relevant to my work situation, getting fired at work. Because if I could just lie to my boss and just be like,
Did you get fired yet?
No, they
Not
sent
yet?
a proposal for, for removal or whatever, but that usually takes like minimum 30 days, probably closer to 2 months. And that's even if they do end up firing you. What they're probably gonna do is they'll give me a last chance agreement. So then that's like another quarter of a year, and you
You
just
know
have
what?
to
You know what you should do? You should
bust
fucking.
your ass.
You should fucking find a job, either a lateral move, or even if it's a slight downgrade, just and then wait till they try to do the whole like, oh, we'll keep you around, and then quit.
That's not how it works in the government. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm not. It's because in the federal government we're so protected because of the remnants of a union. Which
No, I
like,
know, I know, I know.
basically,
They might not be able to get rid of you, but what I'm saying is that like find something else and get rid of yourself just to make a fucking
No, I hear
point.
you. I understand. I am doing that. Yeah, I know what you're
Good.
saying. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
waste all
have-
their
I have-
time and squeeze whatever dollars you can out of the federal government until you find something maybe private that you can go work at.
That's what I'm doing right now. Cause so like my job is like forcing us to like go back to the offices,
Mhm.
and so if I don't get to go to the office I want to go to, I'm basically just gonna basically we get like 3 months to just like basically waive. So like once we have to return to the building, we get like 3 months that we're allowed to waive the days we're supposed to come into the office.
Mhm.
And so I was just gonna like stay working remote the whole time while like trying to find a different job in the government.
Mhm.
And then once that ends, I'll just like hop jobs.
There you go. Yep. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like on the other hand, I mean, like I can't even blame them in my thing because I mean, I just had to get the cases done or I didn't, But the thing is, I mean, it's the lying, and that it also explains. Like my dad was he got very upset at his own birthday party. We had a little birthday party for him. This is some family, get together and all this, and my sister's husband, my brother-in-law. The dude brings up flat eartherism, which he's kind of flat earther, and the reason why he's a flat earther is because it says in the Bible, the earth is flat or whatever, 40 times or whatever.
Does it
blah, blah,
really?
blah,
What the fuck?
yada yada.
Even
No
more?
way.
I'm sure it just makes mention of the flatness of the earth or something.
No way.
That's hilarious.
That is
Unfortunately,
wild.
That
he's
makes
not
it-
entirely
that-
wrong. It is mentioned at least once.
That's pretty hilarious, and also that would just make me believe it less.
Right. Well, so that's what he said at the dinner. He said something about the Bible says it 40 times, or whatever. And my dad was also a little. He's like, oh, I hear. He was making mention because I told him about Thunderfoot. I don't know if you guys know the atheist
Oh, I
online.
remember him. He's still
Yeah.
relevant.
Well, I don't know about him still being relevant. I just told him, I
Right.
was like, look, if you want to look about like evolution and have a nice visual breakdown of it, Thunderfoot's got you covered.
No, you know,
You
did
can go
really
look him
good. Who did years ago? He did a really good anti, explanation why flat Earth just doesn't work. Is a guy named he does rarely does videos, but when he does, it's like they're really long. It's Potholer, I think.
I don't
Yes.
think I've seen that guy,
Yeah,
but okay.
Potholer. He'll do like a fucking full-on STEM style breakdown of something like that, and he'll
Right.
just go step by step, detail by detail, about
Yeah.
why something doesn't function like the way people assume it does or doesn't. But anyway,
Right.
Is it this potholer
Hello.
54 guy?
Yeah, Potholer 54. Yeah, he had some
Nice.
good ones in there. Yeah.
I might check him out. Potholer 54.
Yeah,
huh?
he's covered a
Alright.
few subjects, but yeah, he gets pretty fucking autistic about the level of detail he gets
Right,
into.
yeah.
And it's pretty
But it
interesting.
explains why my dad got so upset, even at his own birthday party, when you would think that he'd, be as relaxed as he possibly could be in his life, over theism, basically over belief in God. And I, led the prayer or whatever there for the dinner, and then he was also got really upset at Nate for the whole flat earther thing, bringing that up, and it's obviously because it makes him feel like he's hurting inside when somebody brings, either the belief in God or the belief in that thing up, and it's funny because he himself, he was the guy, like I told you, he's started to go full on, oh, you can't lose the Christian values and whatever, and all these. where you're just totally lost in life. And sometimes, I mean, like there's a lot of truth to that. The whole of our society is still a lot of ways based on them. So, um, he's not wrong about that. But in any case, bottom line was it's the tie into that where it's obviously hurting him inside, and that's why he's getting all animated and upset about those things. So I'm guessing that happens a lot to people. Doesn't happen.
Yeah,
To
because
me.
when you have your like entire identity based like reliant on your faith in God, when someone attacks the faith in God or like doesn't believe in the thing that keeps you stable, then you doubt yourself because you're also a social creature that can't function in isolation.
Right, or the
You don't
opposite. In
see me,
his
but I'm
case, it's the
flipping this
opposite.
hypothetical person off.
Right. Yeah. In his case, it's the opposite. But yeah, either which way, believer or unbeliever, whichever way. Yeah.
But yeah, well, you have an identity around this thing, and someone else does not like adhere to that,
Yeah.
and their not adhering to that influences you, which kind of shakes you up and makes you
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's why the current
Vulnerable.
situation, I guess, of anomie or whatever it's called, I guess, is even doubly as worse as it would be. Just normally, if people weren't feeling those feelings, if they were just disagreeing on things, then it would be bad enough. But if it's also increasing their internal feelings and all like that, then that's fucking society up.
All right. Well, it's nice that we have 12 people here. 20 for now, but
Ooh.
it's 8:30, so it's time to shut the doors and you got a taste of whatever the fuck this is. And come back on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, I usually bring up some kind of topic of some kind. It's just I want to. Thursdays, I don't want to think about any topics, so somebody else has to bring one to me. Saintus has been kind enough to do that the last few times. And Saturdays is usually about the question that was asked on the server, and then maybe biting into that. I don't always have people here to join and talk with me. It just kind of depends on them. Of course, I consider the Zoid Void and everything around it to be an autonomous collective. I think a lot of schizoids appreciate that word over community in many ways. But in any case, thanks a lot for joining me. If you like the streams, if you like the channel, if you like Twitch, if you like the server, if you like any of that, please support me on Patreon or just straight up PayPal. Anything helps. It just basically converts into gas money for now and things like that I can convince my wife that I should be spending more time doing this sort of stuff because, she's practical and I'm a lot less practical about my time. In any case, thank you. And thanks a lot for you guys that were joining me too and talk and everything. As usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day.